Hello and good afternoon, Xbox Nation. Welcome to this week's new episode of Xbox Live. I'm your host, Mr. BoomStick XL. Folks, for the next 65-ish minutes, we are going to put together a two-topic banger of a show. We're talking South of Midnight. Folks, I'm here to tell you that my hype level for that game is through the roof. It is very exciting. Compulsion Games put out a very, very quick clip of some combat gameplay that Globriel, showcased on his Twitter account. Again, it's not long. I think it's like 25 seconds or something like that. But man, the vibes I'm getting from it are really good. It looks like it's going to be one of those types of games that I think people are going to remember. That is currently an Xbox exclusive. It is releasing next year. Unfortunately, the talk of the town isn't how exciting the game looks, how it has a quote-unquote PlayStation-esque third-person, story-driven type of feeling and story to it. No, it's of course the DEI commentary from people in the community. And it's getting a little played out, to be honest with you. I mean, the game isn't even out. It does not even have a release date. Can we let this thing breathe, please, for the love of the gaming gods? And the other thing we're going to talk about is, well, the unstoppable juggernaut known as Black Ops 6. Well, their season their season update, which is the reloaded season, it looks amazing. We're going to break down what's in that. But hey, C Money, thanks so much for joining us, brother. Welcome back.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Obviously, last week was Thanksgiving over here in the States, so we obviously had the day off and it was great holiday, but we're back, ready to talk some gaming. And looking forward to it, man. Like there's a lot of this crazy rhetoric out there of like all this negative crap surrounding these games for no reason, like that has nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. I feel like we need to kind of get back to, you know,
How about just playing
enjoying what
games?
we're doing, you know what I'm saying? Like enjoying the games
Yeah.
instead of constantly tearing them down for, you know, no good reason. But I'm excited. Let's get into it, man. It's gonna be fun.
Well, you know what? Let's open up with the South of Midnight talk. This is coming from Compulsion Games. It has a very unique stop motion esque animation. Right, it is dealing
Amazing.
with lore from the deep south, something that you very rarely see in gaming. Right, we haven't seen a game like this with this kind of lore in I don't remember, to be quite honest with you, and I'm very excited to learn about it. So look, I know I give IGN the business for the most part. I really don't like a lot of their journos simply because even though they will never admit it, they like to use hate rhetoric as as a driving point for how they sell their articles. So again, obviously it's all about the click, and I don't like that. But I did happen to find an article that was written by Travis Northup. This was posted on November 12th, and it's actually very well written, and it specifically breaks down some of the things about South of Midnight that has me as a gamer super excited. The title of the article says South of Midnight first preview. Compulsion Games bets big on art, music, and deep South folklore. Now, it goes on to say here South of Midnight is set in a part of the world we don't see too often in games, the American Deep South. It isn't just a backdrop for you to fight monsters, but rather the entire premise on which the adventure sits, with characters, folklore, and the mythical creatures all drawn from real-world places and stories. During a hands-off demo, I saw flooded wetlands after a recent storm, mosquito-riddled swamps, and manners of which are infused with elements of fantasy that I did not see anywhere else. Look, see, one of the things that I find a bit nauseating with the community. And obviously this is a blanket statement. When they and I say they, yeah, and again, there's no specific person, group, or publication that I'm looking at. I'm specifically doing a broad stroke. One of the things that has been a running narrative, at least with the DEI stuff, is that it's all bad and that it's all trying to change the way we play games. And I'm here to tell you, I don't think that's the case. I think games like South of Midnight, like Avowed, they absolutely need them because, like I said the other day, we have to understand as humans that the people making your games are coming from all walks of life. And we have to understand that. And everybody deserves to be represented. I'm sorry. You're not going to get me to bend or move on that. Representation is incredibly important. And it should be important to you as a person. Now, if it's not, I'm not going to fight you on it. But it's important to me. It's important to Mrs. Boom. And it's important to this channel. Now, South of Midnight, let's get back to gaming, is a game that I think has the potential to be a game that's going to be talked about at the end of 2025 for multiple reasons. And I don't think any of them are negative. I think that this game has an animation that we have not seen many types of games in any genre have. I mean, the best thing that I can compare this to is something like Coraline, which was a film, one of my favorite films. And it had a stop motion type animation that I thought was brilliant. That's the kind of feel I get from this. And look, at the end of the day, just based on what I've seen in the previews, what I've seen posted from multiple different publications, as well as this recent 20-second or 21-second post by Compulsion Games and Clobreel, I got some serious Devil May Cry feels out of it. I'd even dare say that it had some combat elements that reminded me of God of War 2018. And look, maybe that's not your bag, but that is definitely my bag. And I kind of want to just throw this out there to the community. I mean, look, I get it if you are someone that has a stout opinion about DEI, the DEI stuff. I totally get all of that. If you don't want that peanut butter in your chocolate, that is your choice as a person. That is your choice as a gamer. But can we at least give this game a chance? I mean, for crying out loud, like I said in the opening, it doesn't even have a release date. It has a release year. It's coming out next year. Now, the rumor, thanks to Will Broke Boy Lewis, and because, of course, he bought the collector's edition for the music, says April. April, I think, is a perfect time for this. Obviously, Avowed is coming out in February. You got all of February. You got all of March. And then if this comes out towards the end of April, it literally has almost 3 months to get out of Avowed's way and now do its own thing. And this is running into what we were hoping that was going to happen this year and didn't. And that is the one AAA game per quarter. And if this is game number 2 for 2025 for Xbox, knowing that you still have Fable at the end of the year, you still have Call of Duty potentially in I would imagine somewhere in October. That's your 4 bigs. And on top of that, you still might have In Exiles.
You got Doom.
Doom
as well.
I forgot about Doom. Holy crapola. That's right. So you still got Doom on top of that. So what a year. Look, I am not trying to fan the flames of anything, but I do think that this is worth a conversation specifically about South of Midnight, because everything I have seen of this game so far screams winner, winner, chicken dinner. Let's get your thoughts, man.
I mean, this is the thing. For me, South of Midnight, I've been excited from day one, right? The moment that we saw the trailer for it at their June showcase, the year it was shown, I was hooked immediately. And they haven't disappointed. They've done nothing but increase my hype. They showed more of the game. That second, showcase that they did the gameplay trailer of it where you saw it in action. It looked phenomenal. And then, they recently, pulled a showcase like for January type deal and just dropped the deep dive
Yep.
on it. And again, phenomenal. Told you, the entire, you know, backstory and why this is happening and what they're doing to, make sure it's authentic and it's all this stuff. Like it's phenomenal. And I'm nothing but hype for this game. And I feel bad for the people who are so caught up in like politics that
Yes.
forget that this is like this is gaming, right? Like there's been women characters, there've been black characters, there've been like every character has existed. There's blue characters, there's aliens. Like I don't know what is it that these people have like like they're so I don't know, like do they love politics so much that they're like, well, I talk about politics in my real life over here, so let's make sure I bring it into my gaming on a nonstop consistent basis now. It's just wild to me why it has to be a thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I tend to ignore it. I mean, obviously, most of us are all aware of what's going on in this industry, and we know that they've already done it to Avowed. There's already some talk about it in Indiana Jones, and it's like, dude, like I don't understand what people are supposed to be making nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
is it just like, hey, I'm making a white male character? That's
Yes.
it. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like that's the only character that we can play in a game. Like if it's a woman, it's a issue. If they're not white, it's an issue. Like what are we like? What are we boiling this down to now at this point? Like I don't understand what people want. Like this is fantasy. Like all of this stuff is fantasy world, right? Even Call of Duty is a fantasy world. Ain't nobody in the military doing the moves and the running and gunning that you do in Call of Duty. Like this is not real life. It's fake. It's entertainment. Everybody likes different types of entertainment, dude. Like there's thousands of movies that release in a year and you don't watch them all. You know what I'm saying? Like some movies are just not for you. They're not for your taste, right? Same thing with TV shows. Look at Netflix. It has countless of, pieces of entertainment that go into there
Yep.
on a daily basis at this point. And it's like you don't watch probably 90% of what's on Netflix, yet you have the subscription because you watch what you like from it. If it bothers you so much that a certain character is in the game and you don't like that, then don't play it, fam. Like don't play it. If you're saying to yourself, "Man, these are Xbox first party games, uh, I'm I'm sick of this," then go buy a different console. You know what I'm saying? Like go get a PC. Go do something else, bro. Like stop. Like you spend more time complaining about these games than you do playing these games. You know what I'm saying? Like let's cut the crap. South of Midnight looks phenomenal. The gameplay looks dope. I love the art style. They completely nailed it. And I'm very happy with what Xbox is doing for us as gamers. We're getting
Yep.
a bunch of different types of games. And again, it's different strokes for different folks. Not everybody loves it. I loved Age of Mythology. I loved Ara, History Untold. This is all phenomenal games that a lot of people won't even consider as part of the conversation of what Xbox released this year, right? Which is crazy because
Yeah.
we put stupid amount of hours in those games and had a phenomenal time, enjoying those games. But people think that because it doesn't float for them, it's not their cup of choice, then that means it doesn't count because they don't like it, right?
Yeah.
So if they don't like it, then
How
these
dare you
games
like it? How dare
yeah, like
you like it, sir?
like what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? There's 100 million people that own a Switch, and there's so many people who play that thing every day, and there's so many people who have play all the games that they release, and I could care for not many of them, right? Like I own it, but I rarely ever touch it. Does that like am I supposed to run around and talk to Nintendo Switch people who play it every day how crazy they are? because they enjoy the types of games that come out on that console all the time, and I don't. So I should give them crap for it, or I should uh, go on my channel and start ripping these things for no reason. It's like, come on, man. That's crazy. You know what I'm
It's
saying? Like, if you're I don't get it. If the game looks like crap, then let's talk about the game looking like crap. If I expected South of Midnight to have better graphic fidelity and I don't like the way it looks, then let's talk about me not liking how it looks and why I expected something else, like we do for, Ghost of Yote on PlayStation 5 that was announced, right? The game for me doesn't look anywhere near what I would want it to look like for an exclusive game. So I'm going to talk about that. I don't care. Like that game too had a little of this DEI or this woke stuff because of the character
yeah.
and
The,
that
the,
they're
the minute
putting in
they
there. And
announced that it was a female lead rather than it be Jin, which of course, look,
yeah,
I'll
and
be
who
honest with
plays
you,
her and who
right?
plays her, supposedly
Ridiculous.
she's part of it. And it's like, who the dude, I don't give a crap. What I want is a dope ass game, and I
You want
want
to
a
play a
game
game?
that doesn't look like it came out on that it could come out on PlayStation 4 tomorrow, right? Like that's what I want from the new Ghost game, right? I don't give a crap that it's a woman. I don't care who plays her. I just want a dope ass game. There's dope ass games led by women constantly. Tomb Raider was one of the dopest games, and why? Because what are you saying that the only reason you like Tomb Raider back in the day was because they put some fake ass triangle boobs on her? Like that was your bag? You're like, oh man, I love me some triangles. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So Tomb Raider's dope because they have a triangle, triangle to lady.
oh my
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are
goodness.
we talking about?
Yeah. No,
Get
that
out of here, yo.
it's a phenomenal point. Look, I want to read a little bit more from the article because it does really give us a real nice look into what to expect with this game. The author goes on to say these exotic places fit nicely with an equally unusual art style that emulates stop motion animation, yet another rarity in games, and one that would be sure to fog up Guillermo del Toro's glasses. And of course, that guy is a legend. The whole thing looks like it was ripped from the pages of a children's storybook, which I really dug. It definitely took some time at first getting used to the movement, as it might be considered to be wonkiness to the untrained eye, but it also adds to the otherworldly fantasy charm that South of Midnight oozes. Now, again, it's stop motion animation. It is not frame rate issues. They've already cleared that up, and I can't believe that
And you
was.
could turn it off,
And you
right?
can and
There's, I
you
think,
can turn it off, which I'm
yeah,
not going to do. Which
I'm
again,
not.
options,
I love the way
folks,
it looks.
options. Holy cow! But this is where it gets interesting. This article goes on to say it can sometimes be pretty difficult to understand how exactly a game will feel to play during a hands-off demo. But in the case of South of Midnight, touching a controller wasn't necessary to recognize its best quality. Its music. Each level has you facing off against a cryptic from the deep South folklore as Southern inspired blues and jazz intensifies, and the lyrics help tell the story of whatever beast you're tracking down. In the case of this particular demo, it was an enormous alligator called Two-Toed Tom. And check this out, based on an actual legendary creature, which is freaking awesome. It goes on to say at first, the music started slow with a slick bass line and a choir whispering Two-Toed Tom. But by the time we unraveled the mystery of the mythical gator, it progressed to the final confrontation. The chorus reached a fever pitch, the words of which told the tale of poor old Tom. Look, folks, I know that I'm a nerd. I got goosebumps reading that because I'm a story guy. As much as you see me running around shooting up the place in Call of Duty, I love that. But what has made me stop playing Call of Duty for now 5 days has been Indiana Jones. Not because I'm racing to review it, because I'm not playing a game like that. It's story. And the story here The story right here that we're going to be learning about next year in South of Midnight has me so excited because I have never played a game that has focused on the Deep South. I have never played a game that has this type of stop motion animation that uses both its visuals, its music, and its lore to tell a very unique type of story. Again,
Yeah.
if you are someone that are triggered by the words or by the letters DEI, maybe this segment isn't for you. I think people need to get back to playing freaking games. And I don't know where we went wrong. And I'm saying we as a community, not me as a person or not C as a person. I mean, as a community where politics has gotten so gummed up and shoved into gaming, it doesn't have to be like that. You can pick up a controller, see, and play a game and enjoy it. Don't worry about how they got to where they got. Are you enjoying the game? Are you enjoying the story? Do you like the character? If all of that is a checkbox yes, then you know what? You should probably play this game. I really kind of wanted to drive the point home, see, about how people are already condemning this game and it doesn't even have a freaking release date. And I think that that is some of it is console war rhetoric nonsense, which if you are running that narrative, you as a human should be tremendously ashamed of yourself. But again, don't use console war rhetoric and then try and mix it with your politics to make your point across. I think that's disgusting. And I really think that this game needs to be given a chance. Everything that we have seen so far, see, says that this is a winner of a game and something that Xbox fans have been asking for. Sure. Does it look like God of War? No. Does it have to? Absolutely not. But it is that third person, story driven, adult themed narrative that we have been asking for. And look, we're getting it. We're getting it in spades in 2025. This is one of them. See, anything else you want to just add before we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, I mean, I think the last game that was in the South that was dope was Mafia 3.
Oh,
Um
dude, I totally forgot about that. Yes, it was. It was
yeah,
phenomenal. That soundtrack was
yeah,
dope.
yeah,
Yes.
it was. It really was. And I think that game was fire, but it's just a unique angle, and at the end of the day, you know, we want people like Microsoft who have this huge assortment of, first party studios to be able to not just have to sit there and turn into like a insomniac where it's like, well, I guess this is the treadmill that they're on, right? We need to find this popular thing and just make it and that's it. It's like, no, we like the gaming has matured as an art form, right? Like it's not just the same things over and over again. People can go ahead and create different stories and different, taking place in different places and different times. And like we don't need to be stuck in the same routine constantly. Like why do you guys like some of these people, they just want the same things, right? Over and over again. And sure, you want maybe some gameplay mechanics that you can relate to, which is what, Boom is talking about when you look at like South of Midnight and think that it has some semblance of like Devil May Cry or like a God of War, right? Like they're giving you fresh and new while also giving you something that you can relate to and say, okay, I can see where this game fits in for me because I like those types of games and I like the unique setting and the graphics or whatever it is, right? So, you know, like let them just be different. Allow them to make different types of games, take advantage of their size and, not have to stress about, oh my God, this game didn't sell, you know, 10 million copies. So, we're screwed or we have to shut down the studio, right? Like let them in have that ability without constantly, downplaying things. I mean, I've seen a lot of people post a lot of different things on social media and, about all this nonsense when it comes to these games now. And I haven't read one good take on it. I've never heard anyone successfully give their reason why this nonsense that they keep talking about is an actual problem and not just some type of, you know, preference that you don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it just that's all it sounds like every time I ever see anything written or spoken about this DEI thing or the woke stuff. It's like it just sounds like you don't like it, so you're mad. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it sounds like. I haven't heard one thing that says, well, this is gonna make the game bad. Why? Why? Because you don't like it? Okay. That would make the game, but I'm sure there's plenty of other things that you would have complained about the game if it wasn't there, right? If that wasn't there. This is just like the new thing that people want to, latch onto for no reason. Um, but I mean, again, to each his own, right? Like, I frankly, this is why we don't really talk about this stuff too much because I don't really care what anybody feels about any of this stuff, right? I'm not here. Like, I know people talk about, well, the games, um, they don't sell when that happens. I mean, that speaks more about the type of people we have buying these games and playing these games than it does the quality of those games and whether the game deserves to be bought, right? If you look at this and say, well, I don't like the character because of the gender or color of their skin, and
That's
you
a bigger
disregard the
problem, and
game,
and
then
that becomes a you
it,
problem
that's
then.
yeah, that's not the
Yeah.
problem of the game, and that's not the problem of the gamers who don't like look at that stuff, right? Like they don't care about that stuff. They just want to play the game. I mean, Boom is a robot right now. You know what I'm saying? In Call of Duty. Is this, you know what I'm saying? Like I hate robots. I do. I don't find like Transformers, all that stuff is not for me. I'm not a robot dude. That doesn't mean I'm like, yo, they put a robot in this game. I cannot
What?
believe this.
That's it.
What are
I'm
they doing?
protest.
Oh my god. It's just like, come on, man. Like obviously I'm exaggerating it, but this is the same type of nonsense that's being spoken, right? I don't care. I don't care what people feel about it. Honestly, if the game doesn't sell, I also don't really care. It's not my problem. Like I got the game came out. If people, don't buy it because of one reason or another, that's, that's Microsoft's problem. That's the people who make these games problem. I'm just here to enjoy what's made,
Right.
right? And that's not going to color what I experience. I don't care. I don't care at all.
As you
To be
shouldn't.
honest.
As you shouldn't. You know,
So I
you're
mean,
there, you're paying for a service, the game is being put into that service. If you like it, then you'll buy the potential $30 upgrade, which there might be. I don't know if there is. Again, that's just it seems to be the trend and it makes sense. Right? You're getting the game in your service, you're paying your $20 a month. If there is some sort of story DLC content that's going to come later on, maybe they charge you $30, you get early play. However they're going to do it, because they did it with Avowed, they did it with Indiana Jones, they did it with Starfield. So this could
yeah,
follow the trend, and of course they did it with Black Ops 6 as well. But that's
yep,
perfectly fine. You don't have to buy it. You don't even have to play it. But I am going to say
no,
that I wanted to have this conversation because I saw the recent clip that Clobriel put out there. And again, it's 20 seconds, folks. You can go find it. I have it pinned. I've been talking about it all day. It looks dope. And again, as an old school Devil May Cry fan, as someone that really, really loved God of War 2018, that's the vibe that I am personally getting, and that has me even more excited for this game because of the Deep South lore. It has
it
me
was just
excited.
it was just a setting for me. Like when they didn't show any gameplay, the first time they revealed, I was already hooked. Right? It's just unique,
Yeah,
right?
it
It
is.
looks
It's
unique.
different.
It's just different. Like how many times can you see the same thing and be super excited for it, right? Like we do get excited for like the next Call of Duty or the next Halo or any of that stuff, sure. But it's like at certain point, like those are the mainstays, right? What about the 1,000 other games that come out that look like Call of Duty that nobody blinks an eye at because
Mm-hmm.
we've been there, done that. I already have a game that looks like that I enjoy, so that's what I'm gonna play, right? And that's what happens to most of these copycat type games. They come out and they get forgotten because it's all the same. It's all the same
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yep.
So I mean, there's a place for every type of game out there. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And listen, there's a lot of racist people in the world. That doesn't mean that it's cool to be racist. You know what I'm saying? Like that,
Great
like
point.
just because some people have this agenda against this DEI or whatever it is, doesn't mean, and I'm not calling them racist. I'm saying that there's people who have a horrible way of being, right? And in their circle of life, it's normal and that's what they're okay with. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be okay with it or everybody should be okay with it, right? And the same thing here, right? This whole situation, like just because they can band together and sync a game doesn't make it okay.
I
You know what
agree.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Doesn't make
great
it
point.
right, doesn't make them right, right? Again, all it does is show you, who is, who's out there buying these games, right? And who this market used to cater to and who's still the old guard, right? It's like a lot of times, a lot of the voices that you hear from developers and these types of people, remember, these creatives are all very liberal, right? Like that's just the nature of the beast. And like these conservative people who love games don't realize that the vast majority of people who are making these games are very liberal people. Creative people in general tend to be pretty liberal, and this is what you're going to get. You're going to get people coming out here doing this stuff and making games the way they want to. Or the people who are making South of Midnight are not even, they're not from the South and they're not
No.
black. you know they're all white Canadian people for the most part, and they're going ahead and they're still wanting to tell this story, and they're not just winging it. They're not just reading some book on how to make black games and saying this is what we're going to do. They're not just making some book on, hey, this is the South, so this is what we're going to do. They're doing the right thing. They're doing the research. They want to tell this story even though they're not from that place, right? They still want to tell this story because it's a story worth telling, and they're doing everything right to go ahead and to actually represent the
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 culture
folklores and
yeah.
the culture and everything they have from that area. So look, at the end of the day, um you know I, I'm going to support the game. If they do one of those early updates or whatever it may be, I'm going to go ahead and get it, just like I've gotten pretty much all the early whatever the upgrades that they do on Game Pass. And that's just what I'm going to do because these games are dope and I want to play them early if I can. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. And I suggest that you don't sit there and let people who, you know, don't align with your way of thinking, deter you from experiencing something that you would otherwise love because of
Yeah.
some BS nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And if you're one of those people who feel like that is a very real thing to you and you hate the game because it's a woman or because it's a black person or because it's from the South or whatever other reason you want to give yourself, then do you. Again, nobody cares, right? You're just like the people who talk about, oh, I hate Xbox now, so I'm gonna sell my Xbox and I'm gonna go do something else. Like, just do it. Like, nobody needs to hear you talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't buy the game. Nobody cares about your opinion on why you're not buying the game. All right, unless you do somehow, maybe you make a living off of saying crazy shit, stuff like that, which is fine if that's what you do. What I'm saying, do your hustle. I don't care. But I mean, just like let's just stop, man. Let's just enjoy what we have. And if it doesn't flow for you, just keep it moving, man. Go talk about the things that do flow for you, right?
There you
So
go.
instead of worried about what doesn't, why don't you tell us all what you do love and why you love about it, right? Like, what do you love about it? Let's make that the norm, right? Instead of sitting here talking about stuff that that a lot of people um are excited for, right? Um so yeah, that's all.
Look,
That's all.
I'm very excited for the game. You're very excited for the game. A lot of people in the chat are very excited for the game. I think again we have a super chat and we have a couple of channel member chats that I want to get to in a second. But folks, I do want to just remind you, I just dropped the link for the Valari double barrel gaming pillow. If you're interested, you can save today 15% off your total order by using the code DBG15 at checkout. Again, I don't have to show you the pillow. I'm not going to go bring up the website. I simply want to just do a quick, hey, remember that it's out there just in case you're looking for a gift for your significant other. As someone that uses it on a regular basis, because I have a really bad back, it does work. Again, it's just one of those things as a creator that you just never know something like this is going to be presented to you. Again, I simply teamed up with Valari to sell their pillows, because not only did they send me one and it works, and I personally believe in the product, but they're a small mom and pop grop shop kind of a organization, just like Double Barrel Gaming, and I like helping people out. I like helping other creators, and they're not a content creator for YouTube, but they're a creator of pillows. And when they presented, hey, listen, we have an idea, would you like your own we'd like to put your brand on our pillow. I couldn't believe it. Like I'm still like shocked that actually happened. And then we went over the process of what partners do, and they came up with a bunch of designs, and Mrs. Boom and I settled in on the one that you saw, which of course is the shotgun shells raining on the sides of it, which looks dope. And again, 15% off of your pillow if you want, DBG15 at checkout. And obviously, we super appreciate any support coming our way by buying this branded pillow, because it is a really big deal for a very small channel. But let me catch up on the 2 member chats. First one, Iman Burns, who's been a channel member for a whopping 30 months. Iman, thank you so much for being here. Salute to you, kind sir. He says, hey, Boom, that PSSR, what a joke. Sony taking the pisser and making you jammy get I can't I mean, listen, I don't understand some of the stuff that he wrote, but basically, look, that we talked about it last night on PG on Primetime Gaming. Unfortunately, the pisser technology is going to take a couple of years to get where it needs to get to. And what kind of the same, what I mean, I do agree 100% with what Casante said, is that you're literally paying $700 to be a beta tester. I don't know so much about that.
Yeah, but and Hargeet has talked about that on our channel too, with this idea that he knew that it was gonna, not be the best technology now. I mean, I think that's fine to say. I also think that you have to acknowledge the fact that this is not a PC, this is a
Right.
console.
It's a console.
Right.
It's a home console. Yeah.
So you can't come out here and say that I'm gonna release a console for you to beta test. Right. When you release a DLSS, that's just a choice. That's an option. That's you selecting it. You still have your PC. If you have a beefy PC, you didn't need DLSS when it first came out. You could have just ran it the way you wanted to run it with no problem. That's not an option on the Pro, right? They have to manually go in there and turn off the pisser tech. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to update their game to take it out. It's very, very different scenario. Than just saying like, oh, it's okay that it's going to take years for the pisser to work. It's like, nah, fam. no. But years will be in next gen Xbox by the time the PlayStation 5 Pro starts working correctly. Like, nah, I'm good. Like, don't try to frame it that way, right? Like that's not a good look.
No, I absolutely agree. Actually, somebody even said that in the chat yesterday, like, about having to wait for the technology to catch up with itself. Then it shouldn't be. Like even Digital Foundry said that if in fact it is the case, then this should not be out. It shouldn't have been released. And
of course,
they're 100% right on that.
And not for nothing, but we just talked about the same thing on our show. That's why it's kind of fresh for me. Like this idea that DLSS came out and it was crap and now it's amazing because of time. How about we look at AMD, who is way more invested and has been way more invested in this than Sony will ever be. And they've had years. And guess what? their FSR is still nowhere near what DLSS is doing and what it's capable of.
Yeah.
Time doesn't guarantee success, right? If y'all are out here saying that, oh, give it time, it'll work. No, there's no guarantee that it's going to work. There's no guarantee it's going to work. You know what? They took time leading up to releasing the pisser. They thought it was going to be good. And guess what? It's not.
Yeah.
Right. So that doesn't mean that if time goes by, that it will automatically be great. Will it be better? Maybe. Or maybe they just can't crack the code and realize that on the console, their AI structure, their machine learning structure, whatever they made for the pisser to work, just is never going to be up to, up to the standards that we expect from a DLSS. That's wild to say that, oh yeah, it will for sure be better. No, you don't know that. You don't know that, right? That's just the reality.
Again, only time is going to tell. I'm glad I didn't invest $700. That's all I will say. Raiden Blade, who's been a channel member for 42 months, goes on to say this: Mr. Boom and King C Money, South of Midnight reminds me of Wallace and Gromit. I can't wait to play. And he goes on to say, Mr. Boom, I believe you feel young again because of Call of Duty. I mean, listen, when an old guy like me can get as many kills as I do, I'm not playing against bots. I'm playing against people, and I'm still doing good. I'm consistently in the winner circle, and I do get the best play on a regular basis, which is, again, for makes me definitely feel young, keeping up with these kids. Will Broke Boy Lewis drops a very generous $10 super chat and says, I've got high hopes for South of Midnight, but my concern is primarily since it's a new IP, there isn't going to be much love. Lots of people want the same stuff all the time with sequels and old IP. I don't think that you're wrong about that. I just hope that the game is given an opportunity to breathe. Play the game before you start slapping labels and political horse shit on it. Play the game. If you don't like it because it's telling a tale that you don't like, okay, that's fine. But can we give this game a chance? I certainly hope so. And I think that it's stylish enough where it's, again, you can turn it off to stop motion, animation. I'm not going to play it that way. I'm going to play it the way they intended to tell the story because I think that animation is dope. But again, choices, folks. If you don't want it like that, you can shut it off, which is great. So, whatever. But yeah, I think this game is going to shine. I think it's going to be one of those, I don't want to say indie darlings because, I mean, they're no longer an indie studio, Compulsion Games. They were at one point, but they're not there anymore. Obviously, they have the Microsoft money, and they have a studios much bigger now. I'm very excited to see what they do. I can't wait to play. We also have
that Phil was really pumped for this game before it was even announced.
Yep.
When he was asked years before it was shown,
years ago,
what is his most his game that he's most excited for that we or something like that.
We haven't
he
seen
brought up
is what,
that,
mm-hmm.
that we haven't seen. Yeah, he said that he thinks not South of Midnight, but Compulsion's new game is going to be something special and something to keep your eye out, and is going to do things like that. Like he was pumped for it before it even came out. So I'm really hopeful for it. It looks really good. I don't know what they can do to make that game not good for me. You know what I'm saying? Like the gameplay looks right there. I love the details. Again, you go through that deep dive. If you really care enough about this game to talk about it, go watch the documentary they did.
It's amazing, dude. I watched it twice.
Where it's phenomenal. You would have known who's making the game. You would see the people in charge of each place, each department of the game. You would know that the type of people who are making it. You would know what they did to make sure it's accurate. You would also, I love the fact, and I love graphics. They talk about how much attention to detail they put. They want you to stop and just look at the ground.
Yes.
They want you to stop and just look at a random flower. And they just put out a new video on Twitter, just saying, I think it was like, have you ever stopped to just take in your environment or something like that? But they showed a nice, beautiful clip with amazing sound, and you just get to see like the world that they build in these slow panoramic shots. It's stunning. It's
Yeah.
stunning. They're doing great stuff. I'm very excited for it. There's not
Yeah,
much that
no,
can ruin it.
great points as always, brother. Papal Penguin Gaming has been a channel member for 9 months. Papal, thank you so much for being here. He says,
Nice.
looking forward to Indiana Jones today. Loving Stalker 2. Yeah, I got to get back to Stalker 2, but it's like I'm in the midst of 1,000
There's
things.
there's so many, bro. There's so many games
It's just
nonstop. It's crazy.
yeah. Listen, we're eating good in this neighborhood for sure.
We're eating so good.
Yeah, and speaking of which, tonight I am pre-recording an Ask Me Anything episode with King David for the review of Indiana Jones. King and I are sitting down together at around 6. We're going to do about 40 minutes. Folks, I already put out 2 tweets. We're picking the first 10 questions. We got about half of them. If you have any questions about Indiana Jones, please either DM me or answer the tweet that's out there. Throw a question in there. We'll give you a shout out on the air. We just need the questions. We need the 10 questions before we start recording at 6. Why are we recording at 6 and not doing live? Because King David is doing something else at 7, so we're not going to be able to do it. I can't talk about the game until 7:01 is when the game embargo lifts. So we're going to record at 6. I'm going to set up for an instant premiere on YouTube at 7:01. It's going to go live. We're going to be answering the questions that you guys and gals send us. And we're going to be giving King is going to give his review. I don't know if he's beaten it yet. We haven't spoken, but that's why we're waiting so we can do it live on the air. I have not beaten it yet. I'm going to give you my review in progress score because I play the games much different than many people. I take my time. I am taking my time with this game. I am not rushing through this game to slap a score on it for anyone because it's going to ruin my enjoyment, and I intend to enjoy this game from start to finish. Yeah, so that's going to be going live at 7:30. It'll be an instant premiere on YouTube. Please check it out. If you like it, hit the thumbs up button. And if feeling super generous, share this out because it's a really big deal that we're a part of the review progress for this game. And again, the channel's relatively still small at 15K. I know that sounds like a lot, but compared to as many other channels that are 2 and 3 and 4 and 10 times that are reviewing the game. So the fact that we're in the conversation, it's a really big deal for Mrs. Boom and me. Pragmatic Eagle, my brother, welcome as always.
Absolutely.
He says this. He drops a very generous $5 super chat and says, Xbox test stuff, and it's called the Insider Program. It's free. PlayStation test stuff, and it's charge you $700. LOL. Hashtag charge them more. Indeed, I love the Sony games, but my God, they nickel and dime the community, and everyone is just like, it's okay, I'll take it. No, I'm not taking it. That's why I didn't buy the Pro, and that's why I didn't buy the upgrades for any of these games. I'm just not doing it. I'm just not. Game Shark drops a very generous $5 super chat and says, just saw my year in review. Crazy. Top 1% in hours and gamer score and top 2% in achievements. Xbox provides amazing experiences. Yeah, I am number 1 in 2 categories and and 3% in another. That's pretty dope numbers, dude. That's awesome.
Nice.
Papal Penguin Gaming drops an additional very generous $5 super chat and says, been playing Asgard's Wrath 2 on my Quest 3. Awesome VR game. Yeah, you know what? I got it for free, and I have to shamefully admit I have not played it yet.
It's so frustrating. I feel you because we have the Quest as well, and we have these games, and I haven't even put it on. I want to play Batman so bad.
Dude, I bought Batman. I bought a lot of games. I spend most of my time on that VR unit working out, and it's changed my life personally. Like honestly, it is literally. I started on the 14th. I mean, you've seen the pictures. I have slimmed down. I've dropped 17 pounds. I've gotten a way more leaner, and it's because of a VR unit. It's crazy to me that I have made these strides. But thank you so much for the additional generosity. Look, we don't have a lot of time left. We spent a good time on a topic I think is worthy of our conversation, but I do want to continue to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 6 because, my God, this is a juggernaut that refuses to just go away. And not only did it sell and break records that it's never broken before, we know that it's the best-selling game across multiple platforms for November. It's probably going to be the best-selling game in December. It's probably going to be the best-selling game of 2024. Why am I so excited? Because they just announced that they have a Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Season 1 Reloaded. It starts December 5th, which is today, ladies and gentlemen. It has new maps for Black Ops 6. There are 3 of them. It's Nuketown, which, by the way, is just complete madness. Well, there's a holiday version of that. They have something called Hacienda, which is it looks like it's a mansion. That's a new it's a returning map. I've never played it because I wasn't a Call of Duty guy for many, many years. So Hacienda is 6v6, and they have another one called Racket, which is a new map, and it's both 2v2 and 6v6. But also, there's a bunch of stuff for zombies. And that's the crazy thing. I haven't even dove into zombies freaking yet, which is bananas. And zombies is supposed to be amazing. They have a new map called Citadel des Mortis. They have a new enemy called the Doppelgast, which is a 2-headed creature thing. They have new wonder weapons, which are bastard swords, which look like lightsabers, to be honest with you. There's a new zombie training course. There are new rewards. There are a ton of new weapons and attachments. And they have COD MAS stuff. Like they have like the Merry Mayhem event happening. They have Archie's
Christmas.
Yes,
they have like a bunch of Christmas events. Some of the maps are going to be updated.
Yeah, the infectious holiday. They have the ransack, which is is a mode. Sleigh ride a resurgence, which I don't even know what it is, but it looks dope. They have a bunch of ugly sweaters that you can buy with your characters. Look, see, I don't care how much Activision makes. I don't personally care how much Microsoft makes. What I do care about as a consumer is this has become my favorite game of the year. If you go, again, I don't know if you checked your stats or not. It's the most time I've spent in any one game in 2024 so far. 215 plus hours since launch I have played. I want to say probably around 210 of those hours has been multiplayer. It's been all multiplayer for me. I have been loving it. They've been getting my money. The new operator.
Did you ever finish the campaign?
Nope, I did not. I'm up to the Bill Clinton mission, and I just stopped.
Man.
I know.
You gotta play it, bro. It's so good, man.
I should be ashamed of myself.
The story, the end of the story is so good. It wraps it all up really, really well. Now, my me and the missus, especially beginning like first half of this year, tons of Fortnite. So Fortnite was on. We got like 300. I have like 347 hours in Fortnite. Wow. And then funny to show how much my kids play that they took my number 2 spot with Roblox. Yo, they played that for 257 hours. I'm like, what?
Wow.
But Call of Duty actually, even though it came out later in the year, took my number 3 spot. So I got like 100 hours in Call of Duty. So but yeah, I couldn't believe it. Yo, these kids, they be taking over. Yo, if you look at my top 20, like you know how they show you more?
Yeah.
Yo, Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol. Yo, my son loves Paw Patrol. I didn't realize how much he played. I think that's my number 4 game.
Wow.
Played. This kid plays it.
Which, by the way, Peppa Pig was kind of dope. I'm not going to front. I played it with Tyler.
The new one was really good. Yeah, the new one was really good. The kids love it. But yeah, I got robbed. I got robbed of my top games because they did it. But the rest of it was all like I know Stalker was in there, Ara, Age of Mythology,
good
Hellblade. Hellblade. Pretty much all the first party Xbox games that came out this year were like my top games. What other games came after that I would never know because my kids took the rest of the spot. But it's fun times.
Well,
Great
listen,
time to be a gamer, man. Great time to
absolutely
be a
is.
gamer.
Yeah, listen. Again, it doesn't matter where you play. Specifically, we had to talk about Xbox. Xbox does it right, man. They do these end of year things that just make it really cool to let you know what you've been up to share with your friends on socials. Like, hey, listen, what was your favorite game? How many hours did you play? How many achievements? I think all of that is super cool. They were the first
They
ones
even
to
show how
start
the
doing it.
breakdown.
They
They show you a
do.
breakdown of where you play too. So like
Yes. Yep.
if you like I have hours
How
in
much
the
on PC did
PC.
you play?
Oh, I gotta look real quick because I have it here, but I know it's a lot. But on the cloud, I feel like I play cloud in shorter bursts. So I think mentally I feel like I play
A
cloud
lot of
like
it.
a ton, but it's because it's a lot of time in shorter bursts. So I think I was at 55 hours on the
Wow, dude, that's
cloud.
freaking great.
Yeah, 55 hours on the cloud. I
I had no
have the
hours
whole
on the
break.
cloud.
You have 0 hours on the cloud? Come
0
on, man.
hours, bro.
Oh my god. Yeah, the PC though, I had a good amount. I don't know why I have it here somewhere. But here it goes. No, I lied. Yeah, here we go. So I had 1163 hours on console, 230 hours on the
Wow,
PC.
dude. That is
230
bonkers.
hours on the PC, 55 hours on the cloud.
Wow.
55 hours on the cloud. And then no mobile this year. But
But you
maybe
know
when
what?
they get that store up, you know what I'm saying?
You know what's
We could make
crazy
it
though? The
happen.
fact that they even have that, and the fact that you can put that many ways to play a game is just
Exactly.
bananas. And it's why I
Exactly.
think Xbox is really ahead of the game. But look, at the end of the day, hopefully you folks enjoyed it. The new season for Black Ops 6 started today. Go see what free gifts they've given you. They always give free stuff. If you want to, spend the money on the skins, that's up to you. I've purchased, I want to say maybe 6 or 7 of them so far, and I love every one of them. I cannot wait to get Master Chief. I can't wait to get Marcus Phoenix, and I cannot wait to get Doom Guy, which are supposedly happening early next year. At least that is the running rumor. But I'm very excited for Call of Duty. And again, I've never been this hyped for Call of Duty since the Xbox 360 days. So again, for me, it's why it's my favorite game of the year.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal game for sure. I have definitely been purchasing. It's crazy how they do it because obviously, the guns are all available, but when you buy characters, you get the guns. You know what I'm
And
saying?
yeah,
You get dope versions of the guns. And a lot of times I end up buying some of these packs for the gun first
yep.
because the gun looks so dope. And it's like, oh my god, I love it. But I've been buying quite a few of these things. They already got me. Like there's
Yep.
certain games that just kind of get me. It's Halo, Fortnite, and now damn Call of Duty
Yeah.
got me. I can't
And
wait
we
for the
haven't
Christmas stuff
we
to
haven't
come.
even talked about, and again, I haven't played it. I'm down going to download it. Marvel Rivals looks freaking
Oh yeah, that's coming out
amazeballs,
soon, right?
bro. I think that dropped today. I think, as a matter of fact.
Is it?
Yeah, it's either
Wow.
today or the 7th. I got to make sure. All I know is that I know you can preload it on Xbox. I'm buying the season pass. That Wolverine skin, I don't know if anyone saw it. They cooked. They cooked because it looks like
Did they?
it looks like the skin from the Deadpool and Wolverine. It looks freaking amazing. Yeah,
That's dope.
they're gonna get my bucks. But let me just read these last couple of super chats. We'll get everyone out of here
Nice.
so you can continue your day. Real quick, some programming update. I was scheduled to do the unboxing. Oh, yeah, and I didn't get a chance to tell you, C Money. Bethesda sent me the
Oh, I
Indiana
saw that. I just
Jones,
saw that
the
picture right
collector's
before we
edition,
went
which
live. Yep.
I'm still like, I mean, come on.
That's
They
so
sent me
dope.
to LA. Now they're sending me to I don't even know what to say. But
Well,
I was
Bethesda, it's clear they're very much like it's not a like, hey, these people, let's just hook them up. It's like you like build it with them, right? So you did
yep.
Starfield last year, you took time and they obviously, respect you as a creator, they respect your channel. and I think that you earned their
Thank you, sir.
respect, and they do tear it off. Like, just to be clear, like I'm getting a cold too, but I'm getting a cold from Bethesda, but they have all the people they flew out, like those creators, all those people, and then a certain like the media, obviously they all have it now, and then people like me who have just kind of gotten introduced to Bethesda
Yep.
through Xbox with the Shattered Space DLC. Even though it's Xbox, they're very separate. They're very, very separate. Like, being in with Xbox doesn't mean that you're in
Correct.
with Bethesda.
Yep.
All right, just to be clear. So, us being just very newly introduced to Bethesda through Shattered Space,
Maybe next year they fly us out to LA for Doom, kind sir.
maybe.
Put it out
Ooh.
to the gaming gods.
Yeah, the gaming gods for sure. But yeah, so like we're getting our code tonight, or in a couple hours, so that we can have it ready to go
Oh, dude,
before the
I
game
can't wait to hear what you
drops.
have to say. You're an OG like me, and so is the missus.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You guys are really gonna appreciate it. But yeah, so I'm not doing the unboxing today. I am going to do it tomorrow. There's been a lot of unboxings out there. I'm going to let people get out of the way. I ran out of time yesterday when I was doing some Christmas shopping. I was on the highway just minding my business, and for the second time in 2024, a construction truck drops a rock, cracks my windshield.
Are you kidding
And
me?
yeah, so I got to get the windshield fixed. They were supposed to come today. They were late, so I'm going to do it on Saturday.
Is it free like where I live, or do you
Yeah,
have to
for
pay?
us, I have the insurance. So yeah, I don't pay anything. A Safe Light comes to the house, they fix it, and
But is it through your insurance, or is it like, does New York cover it? Like in
no,
Connecticut,
it's through
it's
the
just part of it.
insurance. Yeah, it's
Oh,
through
okay.
it's through
In
my
Connecticut,
insurance.
if you get a rock on your glass, like
Right.
it's just covered. You
Oh,
don't,
that's
whether you
awesome.
have insurance or
Maybe I
not,
should move.
they
Maybe I should
automatically
move
cover it.
move to Connecticut. My insurance would be cheaper. I don't know, but
Probably.
yeah. So I'm gonna drop that tomorrow. I'm gonna record probably tomorrow morning, right after right after breakfast at Boom, and I'll post it. I have it right here. It's sitting there. I just have to have the time. It's just one of those days I just did not have the time. But Day Reezy drops a very generous $5
Very easy.
super chat, and he goes, PlayStation should have put more mustard into the PlayStation pisser tech. Maybe it could have got C Money's attention. He loves olives with mustard by an open fire.
Oh my god. Yo, one of our people's Ryuar, he went ahead and took a picture of that Dreadpool sent me a shirt, a yellow mustard color shirt a while ago, and I have a picture of it just holding it like in my game room. And Ryuar took that picture, put it in AI, and changed everything. And it's a video of me like holding it and like moving it to like how like why?
I tell you,
Why?
the talent in this community, man,
Yeah, it's crazy. They're dope. They're dope.
unbelievable.
They're dope. Fark you with his edits is crazy. These people are
I
so
love it. Yeah,
talented.
he's got skills. FarQ has
Yeah.
skills.
He's
There's no
nasty.
doubt about it. Freddie Fox drops a very generous $5 super chat and goes, "Let me know how the pisser fidelity looks on an indie game. Hashtag
No,
you
on
can't
indie, on indie,
on
like
indie.
on Indiana Jones.
Yes, you can wait pony. Hashtag you can wait ponies until April, May. I'll be playing tomorrow. Xbox Game Pass for the W. Play 9 Souls." I mean,
Ooh,
you're
people have
not
been talking about
wrong.
Nine Souls.
Yeah, I keep hearing about it. Dude, like, there's just so many
There's so
games,
many,
and
bro.
there's just not enough time in
So
the
many.
day. Now this is crazy. Will Broke Boy Lewis drops a very generous $2 super chat and says, "My Xbox year in review says he played
Jesus.
637 hours of Call of
Holy
Duty."
hell.
Wow. That
Wow.
is 3 times the amount that I played, and I think I'm on that thing all the freaking time. Dude, you got to get some
Wow.
sleep. Straight up. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
King Styles been a channel member for 4 months. Thank you so much. Says, I hope King and you wear the indie hats. I don't have the indie hat. The one that they did give me, it's in storage because I didn't want to get damaged. I do want to actually, I really wish I would have bought one for the review, but unfortunately, I'm just gonna have the mohawk. So that's sorry, King Style. But you never know. King might wear the
Disappointment.
yeah. Let's see. Day Reezy drops an additional very generous $2 super chat and says, I wonder how Indie will run on PlayStation 5. Wait, never mind. Hashtag slander. I love it. Will Broke Boy Lewis drops an additional $2 super chat and says, new Indiana Jones dynamic background for Xbox. Yes, it's up right now. Go get it, folks. It's dope. It is dope.
Nice.
I
gotta
just
change mine.
added it. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all of the super chats, all of the support through channel membership. Mrs. Boom and I are incredibly happy and grateful for the support, and it does allow us to do the big giveaway. And folks, we're doing a big one this year. On the 20th of December, Mrs. Boom and I have tucked away the money, and we have secured $2,000 to give away in 2 hours. It is the most money we've ever given away. It's the most money that I've ever seen any channel specifically give away. Why do we do it? Do we do it because we feel like we have to, or that that someone's owed? No. We do it honestly from the bottom of our hearts. Christmas time is a time that you should be enjoying the time with your family, and it's gift giving season, folks. And some people just don't have the money to do that. So what we try to do in our small way is to give 12 winners an opportunity to get some money and take that money and buy something for one of their loved ones. Now, has that happened? Yes, it has. Some of the messages that I've gotten make me well up a bit, which I'm getting a little emotional now, and I get goosebumps because, again, we're mom and pop, folks. We're as small as they come, and I know that $2,000 sounds like a lot, and it's a lot of money for us. So again, we're saving for our first home, so anything that we don't put into the bank is a day, a week, or a month then we don't get a house. But this was important to us, specifically Mrs. Boom, because last year we gave away $1,500, and at the beginning of the year when we're going over what contests we're going to do, because we do this in January, we plan it out and we put these things in, we put these plans in motion. This is money, folks. We got to put the money away. I can't pull $2,000 out of our house fund. I can't do that. So we sit down at the beginning of the year and we say, okay, this is what we're going to do for the contest. This is what we need. And this year, last year, actually this year, I'm sorry, Mrs. Boom said, look, it doesn't look like the economy is going to get any better. What do you think about going up a bit? So I said, well, what are we talking about? She goes, what about $2,000? I said, $2,000? Yeah, we can do it. Again, we got to tuck the money away. We got to be smart with the money. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're giving away 10 $100 gift cards to your platform of choice. I don't care if it's PlayStation, nice. Folks. It's you make the call. And then we have 4 grand prize winners of $250, folks. And again, nice. It's just our way of giving back to you who are so generous with us. And honestly, we love doing it. We wish we can do it more. But this is what we're doing this year. And at the end of the year, when 2025 starts, January 1st, we will have given away this year $4,500 worth of prizes. And we can't do any of that without the super chats, without the channel memberships, and the support the channel gets. So we are incredibly grateful for that support. But see, money, let's sell the brand of On Point for Gamers. That is a channel that is growing. It's done some really big gains this year. You guys killed it during your PAX East visit. You guys, you and the missus did an amazing job there. You got a bunch of new subs, well-deserved. You're a prominent member of the community. You like traveling and swimming in the waters of console war rhetoric, which is great to see. Again, I love it. It's fun. You have Hargeet dropping bombs. And I tell you, Hargeet's like Bruce Banner and the Hulk. When he's on my show, he's like, listen, you won't like me when I'm angry. And he's Bruce Banner. When he's on your show, though, it's no holds barred. And I love that angry. He's an angry Hargeet. So I love that.
We unleashed him. You know what I'm saying? We unleashed him.
Him from his...
He did have a place to unleash it, and now he doesn't. Now then you see it slip everywhere else every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
That's good stuff.
It's a good time.
Yeah, well, let's send people over to support you and the missus on your venture on your YouTube channel. Of course, it is On Point for Gamers. He does him and the missus do 4 shows a week, sometimes more. And obviously, you can follow him on multiple places on social media. Brother, sell your brand.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, Boom, thanks again, man, for having me. I love doing the show. It's always a good time, man. Look forward to it. So appreciate you. So obviously, catch me here on X Vlog Live on Thursdays, 12 p.m. Eastern time. It's always a good time. So definitely check us out here. But yeah, On Point for Gamers is our channel. We have like 4 shows we do a week. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Sunday's a morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern. And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have night shows that are 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesdays typically have a guest, and then on Fridays is our night shift show, which is a favorite I think a lot of people have because it gets a little slanderous. It's Friday night, everybody's feeling good. It's me, my wife Doodle, it's Hargeet, Shani, and our boy Demo Flow Gaming. It's definitely always a good time. So definitely come check us out. We do reviews as well. We will be doing indie we should have it out before the game drops. We're still currently doing Flight Simulator because that was a long, long time. Like it's a lot of uh
That's a
take a
big
lot
game, dude.
longer to play that game. It's a big game.
Yeah.
So it took a lot longer than we anticipated. But it's great. So we'll have that up soon. So yeah, man, we're doing a lot of fun things over there. We did our first sponsored stream yesterday
Oh, nice, dude.
for a game called Soda Man. Yeah, they reached out to us and
That's
they
freaking
wanted
awesome,
us
dude.
to play the game. Yeah, so that was really dope. We have a controller that we're reviewing that was sent to us. People, somebody reached out from a company and want us to review their controller. So, it's pretty cool. We're having a lot of different things going on. Um, on our side. So definitely come check us out, man. It's a good time. And yeah, we're an Xbox focused channel. I say, we cover because a lot of people come out and think that if we're Xbox, why are we talking about dumb things that happen at PlayStation? It's listen, we cover all gaming news from the lens of an Xbox fan. You know what I'm saying? So
And that
if I
great way to put it, brother. I never
yeah,
heard that that point put together. That's a great point of view.
yeah, absolutely. So I mean that's what it is. So if you're an Xbox dude and you're tired of hearing the negative rhetoric that always comes when talking about anything, it's always Xbox has an issue. We will if there's an issue, there's an issue, but you know, very little of these things that people call issues are typically actually issues and more just people wanting to create problems just for the sake of creating problems. It's a little wild, but yeah, definitely come check us out. We have a good time. We have a good community, great community. A lot of you guys are a part of the community, so we love seeing
Indeed.
you. So we thank y'all. But yeah, come check us out. I did drop the link in the chat. Um, yeah, we're definitely growing, which is good. So let's keep the ball rolling.
Indeed,
Appreciate y'all.
indeed. Well, listen, great work all year long. Again, the year's wrapping up. Big game coming out later today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which of course is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. You can play it if you bought the $30 upgrade, which you should, folks. It does give you extra content, and it will also give you the story DLC that's going to be happening later on sometime next year. Very similar to the DLC that you saw with Starfield. You're going to be getting that DLC, which is going to continue a single player game in the Indiana Jones world, which is awesome. I hope that they can continue to do that. So far, it's only been one DLC that's been announced, and that is a part of the $30 upgrade that you can get today if you want to play the game at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the East Coast. And obviously, you can go to their either to the website or you can go to Bethesda's Twitter account, and they have a map of exactly when each
For your
country is going to,
location.
yeah, you'll know exactly when the game is going to go live. I'm looking forward to hearing everyone. But again, don't forget tonight at 7:30, I will be doing an instant premiere of our review. Me and King David are going to be doing a review. We're going to be answering your questions, folks, about Indiana Jones, and that's going to be about 30 or 40 minute upload, and that will go live 7:30 tonight. So please, if you do, stop by, check it out, give us a thumb up, and share it on social media. But again, for C Money and myself, thank you once again for being here. And of course, I'm going to close out the show. Yes.
Real fast. I forgot tonight. So tonight is our show is at 8:00. But
yes.
One cool thing is that I already received it from one of our dope ass community members. If you do have Game Pass and you're saying to yourself, man, I wish I can go ahead and play Indy tonight instead of waiting for the 9th to drop, one of our dope ass community members has already gifted us a premium upgrade for Indiana Jones, the Game Pass edition. So if you have Game Pass and you would like to be playing it tonight, if you'll come to the show, we do have a giveaway that we're going to be doing, giving away a code for the premium upgrade for Indiana Jones. So definitely come check us out. It's good. It's never at 8:00. You're right. Music. He's always calling us out. 8:00 is the suggested time.
8:00 ish.
8:00 ish is the suggested time. All right. But it's definitely around there. So you definitely don't want to miss it for your chance to get the upgrade and play tonight.
Nice. Well, listen, that's dope. The community member donated that. Again, check out his show tonight, 8:00 ish, and you have a chance to win a particular code to get you to play Indiana Jones early, like everyone else, if you just don't have the money for it. So yeah, tune in 8ish, and you will again, you got a shot at doing it. But again, thanks to you folks for making this a fun show. Of course, thanks for C Money for being here, and of course, I'm going to close out the show with something that's incredibly important to me, folks. Hopefully, one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next week on the newest episode of X Vlog Live.